What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another video.
Yes, welcome back, everybody. We missed you guys so much.
So much. We missed y'all so much.
And for those of you who are tuning in today, I'm Flo.
And I'm Rod.
And welcome to
Meet the Givens.
Hey.
Meet the Givens.
Yes. So for those of you, if this is your first time watching any of our videos, like, subscribe, follow us, click the bell to get all of the notifications every time we post a new video, and follow us on Instagram.
Yep. And that's at meet_the_Givens. So today we have a special treat for y'all. It's kind of one of those videos where it may ruffle some feathers between the couples out there.
Yes, we're here for it though. We're here for it.
So, you want to go ahead and introduce the topic for today?
Sure, I'll go ahead. So, today we're talking about, I don't think they're ready.
Go ahead, give it to them.
Okay, today we are going to be talking about arguments.
Arguments in a relationship.
Yes, we all have them.
All of us. It's funny because a lot of people, I won't say everybody, but a lot of people always ask me or Flo, do y'all ever argue? And the answer is yes, we argue. Yes, we do. You're gonna do it. We try not to for the longest, but
yeah, you guys should have seen us during our little honeymoon phase. We were like, oh, we're never gonna fight.
Yeah.
This is perfect. I love you. You love me. No, it's not gonna happen.
Yeah. So we once we got that first argument under our belt, we had a few more after that, and it was like, okay, this is it's just gonna happen. You know what I mean? It is what it is. So today we're gonna be kind of just talking about having these arguments and getting past those arguments in a healthy way.
Yeah. Guys, and funny story, after Rod and I had our first argument, which I'll let him give the story, I remember being like, okay, this is the one. Rod argues really, really good, and it makes it so hard to be mad at him, guys. So hard.
I don't really know what that means, but just to, I guess, give you guys a kind of the backstory to our first argument, right? So,
are you gonna tell the story?
I'm gonna tell the story. I gotta tell the story because you know how sometimes the ladies gotta over-exaggerate things and then
I don't over-exaggerate.
Blow things out of proportion and so I'm gonna go ahead and explain the story.
Okay.
So it was a beautiful night. I had just got home from I'm not quite sure where, but
what?
I came home with some chicken that night. Right? I came home with some chicken. Now, believe it or not, our first argument was over chicken.
First of all,
the first argument was over a piece of chicken.
I'll give that to you, but y'all, he's telling the story so wrong.
No, I'm not.
Okay, you tell your version and then I'll clear it up after.
There's only one version and it's gonna be mine. So, I came home with some chicken, right? I'm starving. I might have just came from the gym or from like the golf course or something like that. So I get in, ready to eat, starving, and I hop in the shower. But while I'm in the shower, Flo warms up the chicken for me while I'm kind of getting ready because they have been sitting out for about maybe 20-30 minutes, so it's a little cooled down now. So she warms it up for me. And while she's in the process of warming it up, checking the temperature, right? I come to get my plate and I just see this huge indent all the way through the center of the whole chicken. Like you can see out the other side of the chicken. That's how deep this indent was, right?
You were so dramatic.
I'm not even lying, y'all. I'm telling y'all. So I look at this chicken, I'm like, yo, this chicken looks weird. I got this huge indent in it. What's going on? So I look at Flo, I'm like, Flo, you stick your finger in my chicken? And she was like, yeah, I did. To check to see if it was warm enough. Y'all, when I say so in the beginning I had to show some patience there. I had to have some patience. Cause I was like, man, look. This chicken has a whole hole through it, a whole indent.
Oh my
it's an
God.
indent, but nearly a hole through this whole chicken.
Guys.
So when you think about it, right? Now I'm thinking of she put her whole finger in my chicken, just the germs, her fingernail, nail residue, dirt on the nails, possibly all kind of stuff, and inside of my chicken. I'm like, yo, oh my.
Okay, but are you gonna tell them
really
what
put this in my
actually
chicken.
caused the fight?
So that's what. Oh, okay. So
That's not what caused the fight.
let me continue. Let me finish the story. So I go into the kitchen, right? Luckily, I had some backup chicken. I go into the kitchen. I threw the piece of chicken away. Flo comes into the kitchen. We thinking about chicken on my mind right now. We go into the kitchen. Flo comes in, and she was like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "I'm not eating that." And so she was just like, "What do you mean?" And I was just like,
Yo, when I tell you.
I said, "You put your whole finger through my chicken. I'm not eating that." So I threw the chicken away. And then her response was, "You are so rude." And then she storms off. So I'm like,
Pause, guys. So he left bits and pieces out. He told you guys a fabricated story. So let me just add my little piece to the story.
okay, go ahead.
So guys, the reason I got so heated about this, was because for my med student friends out there, everybody out there, this was in the middle of me studying for the most important test of my life, step 1. And Rod has been doing such a great job while I was studying for step. He made sure every night I had dinner. He cooked dinner, picked up dinner, did all of that. And so this was the one night, y'all, I had finished studying early that night, and I was like, okay, let me treat my man. Let me actually heat up the food tonight.
What does this have to do? What does this have to do?
Listen.
Okay.
So I was very stressed in that moment, and I was like, okay, let me take time out of my studies and heat this man up some chicken. And y'all, I was stressed, I was tired, I was angry, and this man threw out the chicken.
I bought the chicken, so I bought the chicken.
So okay,
let me continue.
And two, okay, I forgot. In the beginning, he said, what did he say that was wrong? He said something that was wrong. I can't remember. Whatever.
Now, back to what I was saying. So she storms out of the kitchen, frustrated, and I go back to warming up my new piece of chicken. Like, well, I'm about to eat this new piece, and it's about to be fire. So I heat it up. I go back into the living room. We're about to have dinner, or whatever, and I'm eating my chicken peacefully, and she's just looking at me with this mean mug stare, like she ready to just, cook me like some chicken. So from that moment, she said something I can't remember, and then I was like, she was explaining to me how rude I was, and that she was completely offended, this and that, and I was in no way, shape, or form trying to be offensive. Nothing. It wasn't anything about. It had nothing to do with her. It's just the mental fact of somebody. If anybody just stick in there, like if you touch the chicken, that's a different story. But if you stick your whole finger through the chicken, now. What I said, the comment that I made in response to her was, I said, my mama don't even put her finger in my chicken. My mama would slap me if I put my finger in her chicken. And I probably shouldn't have said that.
I got even more heated.
I probably should not have said that. But sometimes I come from a background where we just talk before we think sometimes. And that was the wrong thing to say. So things escalated from there.
I stormed upstairs being dramatic.
She stormed upstairs. I stayed down and finished my chicken. And
maybe but upstairs and he sits down, and this is where I was like, okay, I could spend the rest of my life with him because he handled it beautifully. He was like, okay, let's break this down. Why'd you get so mad about this? Like, let's break down the pieces so this never happens again. And then I just realized we just conflict resolute really, really well.
We do, and in that moment, I kind of realized, like, okay, this was, you know, granted, this was our first. This technically was our first major argument. Like, like
now thinking about it, it sounds so stupid, but for
crazy,
everybody out there, this was a very dark time in my life. I was very stressed. I was an angry Florence.
I don't know what she's talking about. Arguments can happen over
over
even
anything.
Chicken, folks.
But
you know, after about like you said, after about 30 minutes, I came upstairs and was just like, you know, I apologized because, you know, I mean, I felt that her sticking her finger in my chicken actually wasn't that big of a deal. I mean, I share her germs now anyway.
Exactly, guys.
So, I mean, you know, and it's just one of those things where I wasn't used to, like I said.
Yeah.
My mama doesn't stick her finger in my chicken.
Okay.
But I haven't eaten or drinking after my mom or anything else as far as germs are concerned. I haven't done any of that after my mom since I was probably like maybe 10 years old. Less. But that I knew that I had to apologize for my blame on that end. So I just came upstairs and, you know, just kind of let her know that I apologize. That kind of explained where I was coming from, my side, and, you know, vice versa. She did the exact same thing. She apologized and explained where she was coming from, and then we both were able to see it from each other's side. So I mean, we both resolved that pretty smoothly, and then moving forward after that, I mean,
no fights about chicken.
No more fights about chicken. No more fights about chicken.
Yes, and long story short, so basically we just kind of gathered up some tips and tricks to kind of navigate and communicate well with each other during fights or arguments.
Yeah. So I mean, moving forward after that, any argument, I mean, arguments are just gonna happen. I mean, just get ready because you're gonna have an argument. If you don't have any arguments, then, you know, that's kind of like putting gasoline and having a match standing right next to it. I mean, something's bound to explode. It's usually those type of relationships that kind of cause the biggest argument one day out of nowhere because you're just holding in all those frustrations or little annoyances that you have about each other. You're just hitting them all up, and so one day it's just gonna all come out at once. So it's okay to have those, you know, healthy arguments here and there when they're needed. And I wouldn't even call them arguments. I just call them disagreements. Really, just really disagreements.
Yeah. So I guess a couple of things to give you guys some tips to how to get through that or figure out how to communicate and figure out what's best for your relationship is one, I guess, figure out how you need to resolve your frustrations with your partner. So for me, I am very much, if something bothers me, I'm gonna say it right then and there. And Rod knows. He knows.
Says it right then and there.
I will say it right then and there why it bothered me, how it bothered me, and what I did not like. And Rod's different.
I'm different in that regard. So what I do is I simply, because based off of, you know, like I said, I come from a background where, you know, in my family we tend to just say things and lash out before actually processing what we're about to say. So, and that can be very detrimental especially to a relationship.
Yeah.
So what I do now, you know, especially after moving forward from the chicken incident, when I told her about, you know, my mama would slap me, this and that. now I just kind of step back, analyze the situation, and then I just leave for a moment. I get away for at least 30 minutes to an hour, kind of like gather my thoughts, you know, how I want to present my thoughts and my frustrations when I come back in front of her. So, I mean, that is what I do.
Yeah.
It works for me.
Yeah.
You could definitely give it a try. I mean,
yeah,
man or woman, I think it could work for either side. So.
Yeah, and I think it's better. I'm just not a patient person, and that's something I had to learn is when he's frustrated with me, I need to give him his space, because I'm the type person, if we're mad, we go figure it out right now, and he's not like that. So that's something I definitely had to learn.
Yeah. And you're not gonna force me to figure it out. That's the thing about me. I have to step away. So, yeah, so that's, you know, a thing you all could try.
Another thing is, if you guys have an argument about something, there should not be maybe one more argument about the same thing, but it should not be a 3 and a 4.
Yeah, so like you all have to like kind of maybe figure out a way to kind of approach the argument or the situation at hand right then and there, or at least before you all go to sleep that night.
Yeah.
Because
that's one advice that my parents gave us.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing is her mom. Her mom told me never go to sleep mad at each other, and I took that along with me, and she has too. And I mean, that's the best thing that we could have ever taken away from her mom. So that's definitely one thing you want to keep in mind. But the reason why you also want to approach those arguments then and there is because you don't want to just put a band-aid over it or sweep it under the rug, because nothing's getting resolved. You're going to come back to that same situation later on down the line. Typically what happens is, I've seen it a lot in other couples that I've been around, is they'll have the argument about the situation, and then they won't talk for about an hour or two, and then one person will come back and just, you know, start up saying like, what do you want to eat? And then that's how they just start back talking again, and they never resolve the issue at hand. So you definitely want to resolve that issue right then and there, or at least before you go to sleep. Yeah,
and one thing we really work on is trying to see it from each other's point of view, and then we always talk about like what we could have done differently in this situation, so that if the problem like presents itself again, the other person knows how to act so that it just doesn't happen again, you know? So another key thing is that after an argument, you can learn so much about your partner. I feel like every time Rod and I have an argument or disagreement, every time we talk about it, and we always just feel so relieved that we got it off our chest, and we always learn a little bit more about each other. There's just been some arguments we've had just because we were both raised differently, we grew up differently, we have some cultural differences, and so we talk about those arguments, we go through them, we process them, we think about them, and then we learn more about each other. And honestly, every time we argue, we always end up being like, I'm more in love with you, I've learned so much more about you. So arguments are a great thing. Like, it's healthy. Two people are not the same. You're always gonna have your differences. The thing is, like, how do you overcome those differences to just grow and culture and learn more about your relationship?
Yeah. It's funny because now it's to the point where she knows when I'm frustrated about something. I know when she's frustrated about something. We know each other just like the back of our hands now. So, I mean, when we get into these arguments, we definitely try to take something away, learn something new about each other from each situation, and you know, it just helps us moving forward down the line. You know, just in case a situation similar comes up to that, we know how to kind of navigate it. So that's pretty much how, you know, we approach our arguments and disagreements. You guys, you know, you may have your approaches to certain situations and arguments and disagreements, And you know, if they work, definitely stick with it.
Yes.
I mean, if you're looking for some new approaches, you can definitely try either of ours. See if they help. We hope they do. And if you have any, you know, approaches that you want to share with everyone, leave them in the comments. And kind of let us know. Let's engage. You know, let's talk about it. Let other people see those approaches, because I mean, it's only going to help all of us in the end. I mean, we want everybody to experience love just like we're experiencing it, and I mean, we want everyone to be happy. Like she always says to me whenever she sees a couple or a marriage or a wedding, anything, she says she loves love.
Yeah, I do love love.
You know what? I love love too. I love love too. So thank you guys for tuning in on another video.
Yes, guys.
Like,
Subscribe,
share, leave a comment. Would really help. We really appreciate it. If you have anything else you want to
and
say,
follow us on Instagram.
follow us on the gram. Yes.
Yes, we'd love to engage with you guys there too.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
Thank you for tuning into another video.
Thank you.
See you guys later.
See you guys next time.